Hello friends, in this video I will be talking about Adobe After Effects GUI. Before we start the video, let me tell you that the tutorial on Adobe After Effects has been published on this website softhouse.org/tutorials/Adobe After Effects. So you can go to this URL and then access this tutorial as well. Now let us jump into the GUI of After Effects. So this is how the After Effects 2022 version looks like. Now let us have a look at some of the important panels. So main window is called as application window. So this window that you see that I am moving, so this is the main window and it is called as an application window. In that application window there are multiple panels. Okay, so all these panels that you see in the gray colors, they are different panels, and you can differentiate between two panels by just clicking on this panel. So you can see that I just click on this panel on the left hand side and the border of that panel has been shown in the blue color. So that is how you can see, like, or say this is a different panel. So you can say this is a project panel. If I click here, you can see that this entire panel is a composition panel, and some panels don't have name. For example, down here if I click, you can see that this entire bottom portion is another panel, but it doesn't have any name. And sometimes you have to play around and find out the name of the panel. So for example, if you can go to the window and then you can uncheck some of these panels and see which panel is disappearing, and based upon that you can find out which panel you are referring to. For example, this panel, I know it is a timeline, but you can verify that by unchecking this one. So if I uncheck, you can see that that panel is gone. So that is how you can find out which panel is which in After Effects. This is pretty straightforward. This is an information panel, this is an audio panel, this is preview panel, which is useful to play back your compositions within After Effects. Then this is a character panel, so you can manage the characters information like words and its font size, etc. In the libraries you can get the various effects, etc. Or you can access the Adobe's online library. This is the alignment panel where you can align your objects on the composition. Then this is the paragraph where you can align the text, etc. All these things are possible in this particular panel. And if you want to hide or show different panels, just go here in the window and then you can see that all these ticks are being shown. It means that these panels are currently visible. So if you want to hide any of those panels, you can just click on that particular text once again. So for example, this is the project panel, okay, on the left hand side. So if you want to hide that, just click on that and you can see the panel is gone. So if you want to get it back, just click here in the window and then again click on the project. So that panel is back again. So that is how you can play around and find out which panel is which in After Effects. So I will tell like important panels that I frequently use in Adobe After Effects, and they are this composition. This is the main panel that is very important, because when you play back or preview, if you want to preview your composition, this is where that will be played. The next panel that I use is the project panel. So here, whatever assets I want to import, I can import it here. So you can drag and drop your images, photos, etc. in here, okay, and then from here you can drag it onto the timeline. So this is another important panel that I use very frequently. So project, timeline and composition, they are very important panels along with preview, okay. So you can see these buttons are there. So if you want to play or stop your composition, you can use these buttons. So these are basic and critical panels within Adobe After Effects. Another important panel that I use very frequently is at the top. You can see this is the panel, and that panel name is called as tools, okay. So you can see that panel is tools, and there are various tools that you can use in After Effects. So there is a text tool, there is a pen tool, there is a rectangle and other shapes tools as well. There is a clone stamp, there is a brush tool. So all these tools are available which you can use and edit your compositions. So very important panel. And other important panels that I use are paragraphs and align as well. So if you add any photos in the project, so I'll just give you one example. For example, within the After Effects. So this is where you can import it in the project panel, and from here you can drag it into the timeline and it will appear in this composition. So if you want to left align it, so you can go to the align panel and then click in here, align left, align center, align right, top, bottom. So that is, these options are available. So but right now it is exactly at the center, so that's why nothing is happening. But if I move it down here, and then now if I click these buttons, you can see now these buttons have started working. So basically you can use these buttons to center your photos, objects, etc. And there is a paragraphs as well, so you can do the same thing with the text as well. And you can add the layers in here in this particular timeline. So right now we have got just one layer, so when we drag this particular photo, the layer was created in the timeline, and you can play it using this preview. So by default composition has got 5 seconds, so you can see here. So if you stop it, it will show exactly at what point of time we are stopping, and in the composition or the timeline it is showing like what is the duration of this composition. You can also look at the composition settings and see. So if you want to see the composition settings, what you can do is you can go here in composition and then click on composition settings, or Control K is the shortcut, and in here you can see there is a duration thing. So here you can set the duration for your composition. So that's it in this video. If you have more questions related to the panels and how the GUI looks in Adobe After Effects, let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching.